there's some stuff I disagree with Kanye West about, he didn't switch up, right? At least he was willing to stand by what he said, even when the money got taken away. But Kyrie didn't. And it makes me view this whole fiasco as one giant week of distraction for the Brooklyn Nets. Right at a time when the Brooklyn Nets cannot afford to have distractions. The Brooklyn Nets have controversies of their own, right? The Brooklyn Nets, as I speak right now, are 2-6. They are one of the worst teams in the entire league, point blank period. They also have a coaching controversy going on. They just fired Steve Nash and they hired Ime Udoka, a figure who is already controversial because just in September he got suspended for misconduct within the Boston Celtics organization, and people are questioning whether he should be hired or not. So Sean Marks, Joe Tsai, they have a lot on their plate. They're dealing with a lot, right? And here comes Kyrie Irving with his own fuel to the flame, doing the last thing that the Brooklyn Nets need, being a distraction. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets, what they need to focus on is improving, becoming better. Kyrie and Kevin Durant should be asking themselves, oh, we got a new coach coming in. How are we going to mesh? What's the vision? But Kyrie's focused on all the wrong things. And now Kyrie's going to miss 5 games. Those 5 games, how many of those 5 games do you think the Nets are going to lose? That's an indirect effect of a tweet from last week. It just boggles my mind. The Brooklyn Nets should be focusing on one thing and one thing only: winning, especially after the atrocious end to the season that they had last year, in which they got swept by the Boston Celtics. Something of which even Kyrie Irving admitted was super humbling for him and the team. Currently, Stephen A. Smith is reporting that the owner, Joe Tsai, is completely done with Kyrie Irving, which is completely reasonable and fair. I mean, this guy's had to deal with so much regarding to Kyrie Irving, so much nonsense. He says that he's only dealing with him because of the contract. Like, he can't fire him, he can't drop him, he owes him money. But aside from that, he's just completely done with Kyrie Irving.
But I've been told Joe Tsai is completely done with him. He's dealing with him because he's under contract and he has to, but he's completely done with Kyrie Irving.
I think that's fair, right? Because after Kyrie Irving's contract ends with the Brooklyn Nets, can you see anyone else picking up Kyrie Irving after all the distractions that he's been for the Brooklyn Nets in like the 3 or 4 years that he's been with them? And Nick Wright from First Things First said something that was very profound, that was very interesting to me. He said that for 5 years, half a decade, Kyrie Irving has proven to be the Achilles heel of perfect basketball situations. This is what he had to say.
We now have more than a half decade of evidence that Kyrie Irving either is in or goes to great basketball situations and lights them ablaze. We can go year by year by year. From the moment he walked off the court in the 2017 NBA Finals after they lost to the Golden State Warriors with Durant, here's what Kyrie has gone into the season with, here's how it's ended. 2018, the Cavs are the preseason favorites to win the East. Second best title odds overall. Kyrie then demands a trade. He then misses the postseason with an injury, and his team, the Celtics, reach the conference finals without him. The very next season, he is with Boston, and what happens? The very next season, the Celtics are the favorites to win the East. They have the second best title odds. Kyrie Irving makes odd comments about the young guys throughout the year after saying he wants to be there forever, and then as they lose 4 straight games, he melts down. He has 19 points per game while demanding to guard Giannis, shooting 30% from the field. The very next year, he goes to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, they were projected to be a top 4 seed, not champion, because KD was out. Their record actually gets worse. They finished below 500, and Kyrie skips the bubble entirely. The very next year, now KD is back, and the Nets are co-favorites to win the East, the second best title odds overall. Kyrie takes multiple leaves of absences, which in some people's mind is one of the reasons the Nets mortgage their whole future for James Harden, because they can't rely on Kyrie Irving to be there. And then in the second round of the playoffs, his body breaks down, he turns his ankle, he's not there. The very next season, the Nets are the overwhelming favorites to win the title. And Kyrie Irving submarines the entire thing by refusing to get vaccinated, being a part-time player, and then plays poorly in round 1 and they are swept. This year, the Brooklyn Nets have top 4 title odds. And 2 weeks into the season, he has created a firestorm via his social media usage and the embarrassing press conference. His head coach is fired. The Nets are 2-6. and he's coming off a 4-point game. That is 6 years in a row of Kyrie Irving being in one of the best basketball situations imaginable. 5 of the last 6. Take out the Durant injury year, but he could have just stayed in Boston. Nearly every single one of those years, it all goes terribly, and he is patient zero of it. Like, you are a smart guy. You also have a very empathetic heart, so I understand why you are hoping for the best outcome. But from a logical perspective, why on earth would you expect Kyrie Irving to act any differently than he has acted over the entirety of his NBA adult life?
Yeah, so there you go. He's talked about how Kyrie Irving just screwed up the perfect basketball situations over nothing. But yeah, guys, those are just my thoughts on a Kyrie Irving situation. If you like this kind of content, then this is a channel for you. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and until next time, kids.